Welcome back to my channel and to another Slay&Shade where I'm going to put on some makeup and share my opinions on Lucia Tepper. In recent weeks, she has garnered attention from the likes of T-Spill and Petty Page. And so I decided I'd like to share how I found her and my thoughts on her. These are just my opinions. Feel free to disagree with me. I already got my foundation on. I used BH Cosmetics foundation and their Pro Concealer. And I'm going in with the Huda Beauty palette. I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of want to try out this Dubai shade up here with maybe like a little bit of black. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. That's the fun part because some looks turn out to be very, very bad. So, yeah, I'm going to put some powder on and we're going to get into it. My grandma's mirror is back. Yes. And it's nice and clean-ish. So I'm going to set this down here. Oh, that's perfect. So I don't have to like hold it the whole entire time. Okay. So I have been working on a video for a couple of weeks, and the video is going to be about like the trend of anti-beauty gurus, which is becoming a trend. It's like beauty influencers that started out as influencers and they don't garner that type of following end up having all of these anti-makeup stuff, you know, and then they get a following because some of the things that they share are, you know, quite relatable. By the way, this is Cattle Decapitation. I'm a death metal fanatic and they're a great band. They're also vegans if you want to check them out. I thought I might include that in some videos because that's just a little piece of me, you know. Anyway, so the trend of these anti-everything people piqued my interest. And I started just like 2 weeks ago, I started looking through all of these different anti-haul videos, you know, mostly searching for that and anti-consumerism type stuff. And that's how I came across Lucia. She's a 19-year-old and she's from my home state, Pennsylvania. And she is, I think, one of the biggest hypocrites that I have ever seen. And I came across her because of her anti-hauls. And I thought right away that she was just not sincere. You know, she was very insincere and disingenuous. You know, I just didn't like her. I ended up watching like 5 of her videos. And lo and behold, like a few days, 4 days, something like that later, Petty Page is doing a video, and then T-Spill does a video. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't think anybody would ever talk about this girl, you know? And so, in my little research on her, I went like all the way back. I mean, like over 2 years. And her channel was mostly the same typical beauty guru stuff, fall makeup looks, shop my stash, Christmas looks, you know, things like that, chatty get ready with me's, stuff like that you would normally see on a beauty influencer page. I also came across this video that was called It's Okay to Change, or It's Okay to Change Who You Are, something like that. In this video, if you haven't seen it, I recommend watching it because it kind of showcases a lot of what I'm going to be talking about. So she talks in there about how she has changed people's lives, that she has had people telling her that they saved their life, and that, you know, she's helping these people and she's always giving great advice. What is this hair? And that she doesn't want to be just a girl putting lipstick on. She wants to help change people and touch their lives and all this stuff. And I'm like thinking, I just watched like 6 videos prior to this video, and I have no idea who these people are that are saying that she like saved their lives or helped them in any way, because there wasn't any kind of substance other than just basic makeup stuff, which is fine. But I didn't really see anything that would lead me to believe like, oh, she's making a difference in people's lives. You know, it just didn't register with me. I really just didn't know what the hell she was talking about. And I found that pretty interesting. It's okay to change who you are. And it wasn't very, very long after that when we started to see, you know, some more anti-hauls. But the Make Up Your Mind series is mostly the anti-haul type, anti-consumerism stuff, which is not anti-consumerism. There is a big difference, and I'm going to touch on that too. But she used to have a whole bunch of haul videos. My haul from Rite Aid, you know, clothes, candles, and more, and stuff like this. It was just like every other influencer's page, which, like I said, is fine. But she explained that she wanted to be a beauty guru so badly and wanted to buy all the products that they showed so badly that it made her sick and she couldn't sleep at night. That kind of is a little bit of insight about how badly she wants to be famous on YouTube. And I think the way that she found she was going to be good at it is just to be anti-everything. So we know that beauty gurus get a lot of free makeup, and I hate calling them gurus. I'm going to try to stick to influencers, but it just like comes out. But that they get a lot of free PR, you know, they get a lot of stuff to review. And she made a video called, like, why PR is problematic. And it was kind of crazy because, you know, when you watch her channel and it's in its growth, it's like, okay, she's really bitter. She's very frustrated that she is not becoming this huge influencer, that she needs to change something. And I think she saw how popular Kimberly Clark's like anti-hauls were. I think that Liv Loves Her Makeup was a big influence on her, and all of her, you know, standing up for brands that are inclusive and, you know, talking about different shade ranges and all this kind of stuff. And I think that's the direction that she decided to go in, because what she was doing was boring, you know. Hey, I'm not saying I'm not boring, because I am too. But I mean, I just think that that's why she tried to go this route of like anti-guru, anti-everything. And I found that like very, very interesting. And I watched, you know, these videos of hers about changing, and it just made me feel like she was just a total hypocrite, you know? And so we already know from what she has said that she wants to be famous, you know? Oh, and by the way, like, I don't know who she's giving advice to, but she's 19 years old. So take whatever she says with a grain of salt. You know, we don't have that much experience in life when we're 19 years old, you know. So anyway, so I feel like she decided that she is not going to be a beauty influencer in the traditional sense, so she's going to follow the route of many others. Now, as far as anti-hauls go, I'm going to touch on this a lot more in a different video, but there's a big difference. So if you watch a Kimberly Clark anti-haul, what you're going to get is a lot of insight into how products are promoted to people, and very anti-consumerism type stuff, because that's how she lives her life. But for instance, Lucia, when you watch one of her anti-hauls, it's more like, oh my God, who would buy this? Who's gonna wear this? If she couldn't wear it because of her skin tone, she didn't like it. If she didn't understand it, like it was a collab with a luxury brand or whatever it might be, if it looked like it was kind of weird. You know what I mean? She didn't like it. No, no, no. That's not the same thing as being an like in the anti-consumerism, you know? This is just her being real cunty too about shit that she doesn't feel people should like. And that's how it came off. It wasn't just like, well, see, the reason why I'm not going to get this palette is because I have this palette, this other palette that's similar to this palette. No, it's just laughing at products and basically talking to you in such a condescending way that you would feel like you were an idiot if you decided to buy these products. That's the part of these products I hate that are masked as anti-hauls. Now, some of them do them really well. You know, Makeup Struggles has a few great ones. And like I said, Kimberly Clark. So it's odd to me, you know, when she decided that she was going to make this video about PR being problematic, because she talked about asking brands for PR, you know? And in it, she's so condescending. She's like, I, at this many, you know, subscribers, am obviously going to be a person that gets PR. So what has she been doing? PR unboxings. I thought that PR was problematic. No, but not to her. And what's interesting is if you watch a lot of the Make Up Your Mind stuff and like some of her hauls and everything, she'll talk about shit that she's not going to buy, but then she'd get it for PR and like love it. So this is my thing. Okay, you know that once you hit a certain level of subscribers, you're going to be getting PR, right? But instead of doing a PR unboxing and doing it in the same way everybody else does, if she was truly like anti-consumerism and if she was passionate about that kind of thing, she could have done it in a different way. You know, like Liv Loves Her Makeup does stuff I would purchase even though I got it in PR, or stuff I wouldn't buy, but I got it in PR, or, you know, something kind of different, you know, and she didn't really do that. It was just the same basic, you know, type of stuff, following the same kind of path as every other, you know, YouTuber. And I just don't get it. I'm kind of like over this whole anti-everything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there are a bunch of beauty influencers that are between like 25,000 subs to like 80,000 subs that are just in this, oh, we hate everything, you know? And it seems like it's because they've been at this for years and they're not gaining as much money, essentially, as they want to. And what it appears to be like to me is a bunch of young white chicks bitching about brands, bitching about them not being inclusive. Listen, I think it's very important to talk about stuff like that, but at the same time, these girls still buy these brands. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And you can't go on and on and on in a video about Tarte Shape Tape foundation shades and then wear Wet n Wild all the time, but not talk about how I have never ever seen a deep or dark shade of their foundation in any drugstore around me. And I find that crazy. You know what I mean? And I realize, like, if you already have this stuff, of course you're going to use it, but they're still buying more things. You know what I mean? So if they really were passionate about something like that, I think that it would always be consistent in their videos, you know? And the fact that they still buy a lot of these products and promote these brands is just sort of like insane to me. I'm like, so wait a minute. So what are you? What are you about? You know? And Lucia, I mean, first impressions are everything, I think, when it comes to YouTube. You know what I mean? Because this is all we can go on. We can only base our feelings on a person from what they show us in videos. And I'm just going to say it because I don't know if anybody else has. She comes off like an entitled, snotty fucking brat. Period. That's what she comes off as. And I know that she's masking her hatred and misunderstanding for products as being like so deep and, you know, into anti-consumerism and all this kind of stuff. But I think it's bullshit. So now that she's garnered some popularity because of those types of videos, she's going in the same direction as every other influencer. And this is what I keep seeing time and time again. I don't even know if I have to do the other video because I'm saying so much about it in this one because she just gets on my nerves. But you can't be anti-everything, and then once you get famous or more popular, then all of a sudden your channel, boom, it's the same boring ass shit as everybody else. But, you know, I don't think that she ever thought she was going to get PR, and maybe that's why she made that video. I mean, I kind of don't know. But this is the thing. My opinions on things, I know that we can all be hypocritical at some point. My feeling is and people change, yes. Don't act like don't pretend that you are somebody just to get to a certain point in maybe your YouTube career and then let everything else just, then you actually show your true colors, you know what I mean? And like I said, her channel, it was all the same shit, Christmas makeup and all this craziness, not craziness, but just the typical stuff. And now that's like what she's going to be going back to with like her PR stuff and everything. And some people would say, you're just jealous. No, I'm not jealous. I'm sorry. I know that that's an easy thing to say when you like somebody and somebody else doesn't. You're just jealous. No jealousy here. No jealousy here. The thing is like with me, this is going to sound bad because I agree with T-Spo that she seems like the girl that's always like, oh, I'm not like other girls. You know what I mean? That's like, oh, I don't get insecure. I'm not jealous. I'm like a man's woman, and that she's like totally full of fucking shit. That's what she seems like. And it's only because she has changed so much. And there are a lot of her fans that are pointing it out to her. And I'm telling you guys, she doesn't give a fuck about you. She's so happy she's getting the attention. And it's probably going to make her get more subscribers. And she'll be even happier. And then you're not really going to see too many of her anti-this, anti-that shit. Unless she's doing a collab with Liv Loves Her Makeup. When I saw that they did a collab together, I just about lost my shit. I love Olivia. I really do. But lately, I mean, I've kind of felt the same way in a sense about her because she's always like, products I'm not going to buy, products I hate, products you shouldn't spend your money on, you know what I mean? It's like, listen, most of us that are the age that we are, that are older than maybe a 16-year-old, we all know that, brands use certain tactics, just like any other kind of products, to try to get us to buy stuff. We're not complete morons. And the thing is that makeup is fun and it's creative and people love it, and that's okay, and it brings a lot of different people together that may have otherwise not really, talked to each other. They find like common ground in it, and that's awesome. And it's like these, and I say white chicks because a lot of them are talking about brands that you shouldn't buy because they are exclusive. But then they still buy from them. You know what I mean? And it's like if I were coming on here saying, oh, I hate Tarte, I'm never going to purchase from them again because of the whole foundation situation. I said it back then in my video, and I haven't gotten anything from Tarte. I'm still trying to use up the goddamn Shape Tape. You know what I mean? I just feel like they're just not sincere, like, at all. And it's very disappointing because, things like that could be such a breath of fresh air on YouTube. But no, they're just like the other beauty influencers. You know what I mean? And right now, their trend is that they hate everything, And really, I don't give a shit because they may talk shit on products. And I'm like, oh, but I would use this. Like, oh, I would get this. Like with the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, a lot of anti-hauls were done on that palette, and I love it. You know, I love that when I look at it, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I like that. Other people don't. I love the Subculture palette. Everybody else really doesn't. You know what I mean? And that's what makes us unique, you know? And that's why it's important to watch more than just one review on something. You know what I mean? But I feel like when she is talking about products like this, she is mainly focused on products and brands that she doesn't like. You know what I mean? Like Too Faced. We get it. You know what I mean? But like Too Faced, most of us are so over Too Faced. But you know what? Most of us are in our 30s and like grew up liking Too Faced. You know what I mean? That was pretty much catered to like 14 to 16-year-olds. And now we're all on here bitching about Too Faced having shit products and stupid gimmicks. They've always been gimmicky. Like, this isn't new. It's just that we were young and we thought things were really cute. You know what I mean? Like, I was even tempted to get that stupid Clover palette because I love my dog so much that, like, it was pretty awesome, you know? And what she didn't know, which all of us that saw the little commercial for the palette knew, is that when you got that palette, they were donating money to these animal charities and like shelters and stuff. She didn't even do any type of research whatsoever to be like, oh, now I understand. You know, now I know why he did this for his dog. You know what I mean? And who gives a shit if he's doing it for his dog? It's none of your business. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, like Too Faced comes to my mind so much because everybody's always like, oh, look at this stupid packaging, and we're so over glitter, and we're so over candy and peaches and all this stuff. And I get it, because I am over that stuff too. And I don't think, yes, I do think formulas definitely changed with Too Faced, but also we are not 16-year-olds anymore. We don't need a chocolate bar palette. You know what I mean? We don't need things that smell like peach. Some people still like that kind of stuff, and that's okay too. But to kind of like tear down like anything somebody else might like just because you don't understand it, or because you wouldn't buy it, really kind of pisses me off. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm like, who are you to tell somebody that they shouldn't purchase something just because you don't understand it, just because you don't like it, you know? I'm going in with the e.l.f. Moonlight Pearls again. This is my favorite, like, natural type highlight. So, I mean, I just don't know. She just really rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like she's young. She has absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever, because if she did, then she would be responding to her fans that have followed her forever, way, way, way before she became this, like, popular. And she would be, like, you know, just more aware of how people are feeling about her now. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in with the Glamorous Blush palette. And I think I'm going to dip into maybe this shade here. This is kind of interesting. Or maybe this like kind of light peachy. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's kind of nice. It's just real faint. Just a little bit of color. So you guys have got to let me know. How do you feel about her? If you have not seen some of the videos I mentioned from her, I definitely recommend watching them. And I think I'm going in, oh, I don't know, Celebrity Skin. What am I doing here? No. Which one is this? Mannequin. That's like my fail-safe. But that's the thing, like, she's very transparent, I think. Very typical, you know? But you can tell that she hates Too Faced. You could tell, you know, she hates this brand. She hates that brand. Like, come on, there's a difference. like I said, Kimberly Clark, she does it the best, you know? This whole trend of anti this and anti that just because you aren't at that level is very transparent. We can see through that, you know? And since Lucia is so young right now, I guarantee you her channel's going to change again. I think she's going to sometimes slip in some anti-haul stuff or make up your minds, but I think that she's going to be doing a lot of product reviews on the same shit everybody else is. And I mean, and that's okay, but don't come out like you are this person that stands for something and then you just change like that because you got what you wanted. You know what I mean? That's the thing that bothers me. Don't come out as being passionate about something that you're really not. Don't, you know, it's just because you're bitter. Like, don't come out being a certain type of person. Yes, people can change, but when you have convictions that are that strong about certain brands and the way that they advertise to us, that doesn't seem like something that would just, boom, change if you really thought that way. You know what I mean? What about doing, like, I'm giving away my PR to people? You know what I mean? That would be something that she would never do. This is my PR, you know? So, I mean, those are just my opinions on her, but I don't know. I just think that she's just phoning to me is how I will say it. So you guys let me know what you think of her. Where do you think her channel's gonna go? You know, if you have never heard of her before, I suggest checking out the Beauty Gurus Are Toxic, the PR is Problematic, and her whole It's Okay to Change thing, because she is apparently saving lives with her Christmas looks and her hauls and her Shop My Stash. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. And like I said, if you are that anti-consumerism or anti-consumerist and you get PR, why not donate it to a women's shelter? If you're, oh, it's toxic or it's problematic, then donate it to your subscribers. You know what I mean? Donate it to a women's shelter, whatever. Then that would be, I think, the route that somebody that felt that way would do. I don't think I've ever seen anybody even do that. But I'm just saying, don't just do PR unboxing like everybody else when you're so against it. You know what I mean? So that's it for today's Slay&Shade. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe if you feel like it, and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love and hugs. Bye.